Fam, what's going on? What's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box if you think that Ryan Williams will reclassify and stay committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide? So, according to Ryan Williams' Instagram, which I have pulled up right here next to me, he will be going live at 9:15. We'll do our best job to bring that here as he makes his special announcement. Now, from what I gather, this is going to be positive news for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Again, we don't know. There's been all sorts of hearsay out there that it could be one thing or another. Today, I'm going to take your calls, and we're going to talk about Ryan Williams' special announcement once he does make the announcement at 9:15 Central Time. And again, that will be on his Instagram channel, and we'll try to bring that right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Definitely go follow him. You know, I think that when you look to Ryan Williams and the type of player that he is, there's so much to be excited about if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide football fan. I think the one thing that really jumps out about Ryan Williams is his playmaking ability. You look to a player like Ryan Williams, and you look to the Alabama wide receivers, those wideouts that we've had in the past, the Jerry Jeudy's, the Henry Ruggs, the Devontae Smith, the Jameson Williams. I mean, even this year, I think a real wideout that stepped up has been Jermaine Burton. And you have some sophomores right now in Alabama's team that are wideouts, right? The Isaiah Bond, the Kobe Prentice, the Kendrick Law. And I think Ryan Williams is certainly cut from that same cloth, maybe even more so because of his elite ability to be able to beat defenses over the top with his elite speed. Now you're like, okay, all these guys are fast coming into Alabama. And good morning to you if you guys are just joining me. Give me a roll tide inside the comment box. Feels going to be a good day, a good week for the Alabama Crimson Tide as Alabama is set to go forward to the Rose Bowl, right? I mean, this whole season has it's been amazing to watch this transformation of this team. Nick Saban, we're going to talk about some recruiting. I'm going to take your calls as well. And Ryan Williams is set to go live at 9:15 a.m. I'm warming up the show for you guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday to start off. And I see you guys inside the comment box. John, Vanna, Trey, what's up? I appreciate you guys. Dennis, I see you inside the comment box. Rob, I see you inside the comment box as well. So what we are going to do on this particular YouTube show today is wait for Ryan Williams to announce. Now, we'll go past the 10 a.m. window today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And once Ryan Williams does go live, we will bring that to you to the best of our abilities. But he is announcing on Instagram. He said that he'll be live at 9:15 a.m. Getting back to the wide receivers at Alabama and talking about those rideouts, right? The guys who did the crane and who started all that. Those guys set the standard for what we're accustomed to. And it goes back to the first wide receivers that were really the true OG rideouts before that became the term, right? And what's up, George? I see you inside the comment box. What's up, King family? And that was the Julio Jones, and that was Amari Cooper. And then we saw this wave of Alabama wide receivers that went to the first round and are now balling out in the NFL. And I think Ryan Williams is going to be one of those guys. And, of course, expectations are so high for all of these guys before they even get to the University of Alabama. For example, we're all talking about Julian Sain coming here and being the instant impact player and at the quarterback position. And, look, expectations are going to be high for 5 stars regardless of where they are going. And when they come to Alabama and they are able to play at Alabama and play at the highest level, I mean, that's outstanding. And there's some reverse recruiting that happens to Alabama. For example, you can't go to Alabama if you're a 5-star because you're not going to play. You're going to have to wait behind other guys. That's the same case where everybody else is. But I would say this, if I'm Nick Saban and anybody's trying to reverse recruit, is look at Caleb Downs. Look at Caden Proctor. Those guys started each of the games Alabama has played going into the Rose Bowl. Each of those guys have grown up, and each of those guys are first team, all freshmen in the SEC. And really, overall, I think that absolutely 1,000,000% that Caleb Downs is going to be a first-team All-American. So people who say that freshmen don't play at Alabama don't follow Alabama. Caleb Downs is an absolute baller. Probably one of the best safeties that we've ever seen as a freshman. I know there's been some absolute ballers that have came in here, But Caleb Downs has just been fantastic, and so has Caden Proctor. The thing about Caden Proctor, when you're talking about the freshman, and by the way, fam, thanks for joining me. What we got here, Ryan Williams set to go live at 9:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is his Instagram channel, and he is going to announce on his Instagram channel. We're going to try to bring that in live, but if we don't bring that in, go follow the young man on his Instagram channel. Support these young men because I think now in this space of NIL, that's where we're headed. And the more followers that they have, the better they can brand themselves. When you're a guy like Ryan Williams, who completely just balled out in this 6A state title game, that says a lot, right? That game was crazy. Everybody was looking forward to the 6A state title with Clay Chalkville and Saraland and the season that those guys have been having. Yeah, so Austin, what's up, man? Good question. 9:15, this Instagram channel. We should be able to bring that to our channel right here. If not, go over to Instagram, and then you can come back and talk about his big announcement, whatever it may be. That's at 9:15. It's 9:07 where I'm at. This is all Central Time, and, we'll do our best to continue to talk about it. One way or another, we're going to talk about his announcement, which will take place at 9:15. I appreciate you guys. Let me know you guys are watching from inside the comment box, and I want you guys to do this. If you believe that Ryan Williams is going to reclassify and stay committed to Alabama, I want you to put an elephant emoji inside the comment box, okay? I want you to do that for me right now while we continue to warm up the show. We're also going to open up the phone lines, and we have a couple things that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to pull up my Crimson Tide headline graphic, and there's a couple things that I wanted to get to after Ryan Williams' announcement, and, of course, we're going to dive into that. There's a couple different things that I would like to go over as we start this wonderful Monday, so we'll put that graphic on the screen as we talk about Crimson Tide headlines. One of the things that stood out to me yesterday, and we got to talk about this, Ryan, is certainly the play of Jaylen Mbakwe as well. Because when you look to that 6A title game, you not only had one outstanding committed prospect to the Alabama Crimson Tide, but you had two, right? So Clay Chalkville had Jaylen Mbakwe, who I think had, over 300 total yards, something like that. Kid's absolutely baller. And I think when you look to Jaylen Mbakwe, what he brings to the table is he's going to fulfill that spot of that playmaker at the corner position. You have him on the defensive side, and you have Ryan Williams hopefully on the offensive side. So while we wait for Ryan Williams to make his special announcement, that's going to be on his Instagram channel. We'll do our best to bring it here. Here are the Crimson Tide headlines that I want to talk to you guys about today. So Ryan Williams' announcement, A. I also want to talk about B, that Ferrari that Coach Saban was flexing on social media. I'm sure you guys saw it, uploaded a short. It was actually Dre Kirkpatrick Sr. That posted it on Instagram. And the great thing about it is I think Coach does he have one Ferrari or two? I know he used to have two, but I think he traded them in and got another. Anyways, he owns a dealership, and he also owns a couple Benz dealerships. Coach Saban's balling out of completely other level. And he also has a house in Jupiter, Florida. I see you guys with the emojis inside the comment box, but I love that flex. And I don't think, hard work pays off, and Coach Saban is certainly someone that does that. And I love, just a couple days ago, I uploaded a video right here with Miss Terry talking about giving back. So while good things continue to come to Coach Saban, and he can afford whatever he wants, they're also giving back into the community. One thing that I really like about Coach Saban and his family is that they've built 20 houses here in Tuscaloosa, and those are through Habitat of Humanity that the coaching staff has got behind, and through Nick's Kids Foundation. If you're not a supporter, I would suggest that you follow that. They've been able to build 20 houses, and the coaches' wives do all the landscaping. Coach does a little bit of painting. That's what Miss Terry Saban said, so that's great. But they have a Ferrari, and Coach Saban he started up yesterday, and you heard that thing start up, man. It sounds good. So I have seen Coach Saban one time whipping around the Ferrari. I was coming back home, and he was driving back home, and, I'm just going to say Coach Saban still has that competitive edge in him because he was letting that Ferrari go. All right, so I also want to talk about the Heisman voting. And you're right, Roll Tide. One I see in the comment box, man, that Ferrari did sound nice on the startup. Did you see where the ignition is? I've never been in a Ferrari. I don't know if you guys have had. But we'll talk about the Heisman voting as well, and just show you a quick graphic while we wait at 9:15. But Jalen Milroe, I believe, finished, what was it, 6th in the Heisman Trophy voting, behind Jaden Daniels, who was able to win the award for LSU. It's amazing to think that Alabama's defense faced, all these quarterbacks this particular year, but of course, another quarterback from LSU wins the Heisman Trophy Award. And then Coach Saban will be on the road this week visiting a couple different guys, and we'll talk about that at the back end of the show. But the purpose of this start-off show is to talk about Ryan Williams and his major decision. But Coach Saban has been grinding, and think about Coach Saban in the terms of his schedule, right? You're busy, I'm busy, everybody is busy. But Coach Saban has to deal with roster management with the transfer portal. Alabama has 4 that have entered the transfer portal. Alabama has not taken any prospects from the transfer portal just yet. I think they will add to the roster, but I think the focus right now for Coach Saban and the staff is to, A, focus on the players that you currently have. Talk to guys that it might be best suited for them to leave to different places, Tyler Buckner to go play lacrosse, or Ja'Cory Brooks maybe to go find another program that fits you a little bit better, which is completely fine. And we wish those guys the best, right? Because, things happen. Guys leave, assistant coaches leave. Hutzler is leaving Alabama for the DC job at Mississippi State. How can you hate on that? Is the outside linebackers coach here at Alabama going to be the DC in Mississippi State? That's good. You want good things, going out into the world, into the energy. So when those guys are making different moves, you wish them the best. And guys are going to come in here from the transfer portal that we don't know about just yet that are going to be absolutely ballers. But as you can see on the screen, that is your Heisman Trophy winning, candidate for LSU. What I do like about Jaylen, in terms of the Heisman Trophy voting, keeps you hungry, right? Keeps you with a chip on your shoulder. And in my opinion, it's really laughable that the Heisman Trophy Award is determined before the bowl games, before the playoffs, before the national title game. Because I've been saying this all along. Can you imagine what Jalen Milroe is about to do for Alabama? You're about to see his absolute best, right, against Michigan and against the national title game, a game that I think that they're going to play against the Texas Longhorns. I've been saying that a long time. So imagine if this kid completely balls out, has this unbelievable performance against Michigan, and, I don't know, I'm just saying Texas, I'm talking rat poison here. But that's why that award, the most coveted award in all of football, should be given to the Heisman Trophy winner after the season. But anyways, Ryan Williams to go live at 9:15 a.m. I have 9:14 a.m. on my clock, so we are just kind of waiting for an announcement. And once that announcement does go live, we'll do our best to bring that here to Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you can't watch it here, you can watch it on his Instagram channel. I have my phone as well, just kind of waiting on this young man to make his announcement, because it has major impacts of what it could be. And I think we are really excited about what he brings to the table. He's a current class of 2025 commitment. And if he's able to reclassify and become a prospect from class of 2024, that is only going to up Alabama's overall recruiting ranking and continue to, build this class of 2024, which isn't done just yet. The great thing about this class is you have a 5-star cornerstone as the recruiting prospect, right, in Julian Sain. And that guy, like his highlights, we're getting excited about Ryan Williams' highlights, and rightfully so. The guy is absolutely a burner. But when you look to Julian Sain and what he's able to do, just really amazing in terms of him being a point guard and him extending plays. And he really reminds me a lot of Bryce Young. I mean, I know they're out from California, not only in that sense, but the way that they're able to extend plays. Now, I know that Bryce is certainly having a tough time out with the Carolina Panthers, but my goodness, it's like any quarterback would have a tough time with the Panthers. So I think things will continue to change for Bryce Young moving forward. But there's a lot of talk right here, like Steven is saying, okay? That's why the anticipation from outside of Alabama's program is that he's flipping. Now, there's been people that have said that. And the reason, look, I heard from probably the best source in Alabama football that, he's okay. So it looks like he's live. So let's try to do this. And I'm going to get you guys the best way I can. Let's see. Stay with me because we're doing all this on the fly. But once he goes live, give me a second. Try to update this for you guys. 1 second. This is all on the fly. So Ryan Williams.
Very unique day that we have here today at Saban High School with Mr. Ryan Williams. And before we kind of get to that, we'll go ahead and turn it over to head coach Jeff Kelly to kind of say a few words about Ryan as we get started.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. I want to once again welcome everybody for being here. Family, parents, extended family, students, teammates, members of the media. Appreciate you guys coming on short notice. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan here in just a minute, but I wanted to share just a couple of things about Ryan over the last several years here at Saban High School and some of the things that we've all, kind of grown to love about Ryan. The things on the field have been, absolutely amazing. Ryan, as a career, tallied up some things this morning, has 200 receptions for 3,388 yards and 47 touchdowns. Has 25 touchdowns and another 1,200 yards rushing. And over the last 3 years, it's somewhere around 4,800 yards and 74, 75 touchdowns. And is also the reigning Mr. Football and also the reigning Gatorade Player of the Year. Excellent, outstanding. We all know that. I think to a lot of his teammates here, the students here, the thing I'm most proud about Ryan is unbelievable teammate, team first guy at all times, has always done everything we've asked of him. And I think it just shows how high a character young man that Ryan is, and it makes you, love and appreciate all the other stuff even more. I think the fact that we're having this meeting today after the season also speaks volumes of kind of what Ryan's about. Ryan wanted to make it very clear that this visit meeting we're going to have this morning will not happen until the season is over, just because, wanted to make sure that his didn't want to be a distraction, and was a team first guy at all times. So I'm as proud of those things as much as anything else on the field. So without further ado, I'm going to give the mic to Ryan and let him have a conversation with you. Here you go.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for allowing me to be in this situation. I can't do nothing without the man of love. I would also like to thank my family, especially my parents, the constant sacrifice from five years to now. It's unbelievable, especially in my high school career, going on all the visits, not knowing what's going to be the outcome. My first year was really rough. We didn't know what was going to happen, but it all paid off, and I'm the man I am today. So I also like to thank my teammates for helping sharpen me every day. I love all y'all, and I'm glad I got to play with y'all these 3 years, some of y'all more. I would like to thank my coaches. They done an unbelievable job to help me become a better player on and off the field. I would also like to thank the staff, our community. Ever since I've been a Saban sport, I've gotten nothing short of love. So I mean, go scoring. But no, this has been an ongoing decision for a couple months now, and I talked to my family, and with careful consideration, I will be reclassifying to the class of 2024.
All right. So Ryan, we love you. All right, we love you. You are outstanding young man, and I'm so proud of you. And I look forward to amazing, awesome things both on and off the field. And you work hard to put yourself in this situation on the field, but also academically off the field. I think that's a credit to you because that people don't know how hard that could be. I know this is tough for you. All right, but the first order of business, since you have made that announcement, I want to present to you. I think this is maybe the second or third player in school history. Ryan will be playing on January the 3rd in Orlando in the Under Armour All-America game, and we look forward to watching you there play in a few weeks, okay? Let's give Ryan one more big round of applause.
Hey. Yeah. Don't let him suffocate up. That'd be kind of good. Shut your
One more big round of applause, Ryan. We love you. Appreciate you. Wherever this game, wherever this world takes you, you're always where home is, and that will never change. So, without further ado, that's going to conclude, this time here. I know we got members of the media, and you guys come on up and feel free to ask questions and those kind of things. So, appreciate teammates for being here. Let's have a great day, okay? Congratulations. One more big round. Thank you, man.
I don't know.
All right, fam. What's up? All right. So we got the let me get this set up real quick and I'll all right. So Ryan Williams has announced that he is reclassifying from the class of 2025 to the class of 2024. What does that mean for the Alabama Crimson Tide? If you guys are just here and you're wondering what's going on, let me set the stage just to rewind. Okay, so Ryan Williams, one of the top prospects in the country, not only in the class of 2025, but now in the class of 2024, has announced he's reclassifying from 2025 to 2024, which will mean that he'll be with the Alabama Crimson Tide as soon as possible, whether that's graduating early and being ready for bowl prep. Now, he can't play in the bowl game, obviously, but these guys can be enrolled. So I would assume he's an early enrollee as well. So we will talk more about that going forward. But Ryan Williams will be a member of this class of 2024. He announces that he is reclassifying today and sticking with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and will also be a member of an All-American game coming up. This guy is electric in every single sense of the word. He's an elite playmaker. He certainly has that ride-out mentality. Just balled out in the 6A state title game against another Alabama commitment in Jaylen Mbakwe. This guy has everything that you want in a wide receiver: speed. He's got good height. He's got good length. And most importantly, like, you look at his overall speed factor, I think the best way to describe it is he's a blend of Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. You can't throw those terms around loosely, but the guy certainly has it. Coach Saban has to be elated today, and I think there was some people that felt that maybe Auburn had a chance to flip him, and that doesn't go their way. And why would you honestly decommit or flip from Alabama if you're a player of this caliber? I think the great thing about Alabama is, number one, you have Coach Saban, who can help you develop at the highest level. Number two, think about this. Every single day from the minute that he steps on campus, he's going to be going against the best. He's going to be going against a Jaylen Mbakwe every single day, right? And the ultimate goal for these guys is to clearly ball out on the field and do their thing, but to get to the next level, which is the NFL. When you go into Alabama, into their media room, and you kind of look to all of the things that they have on the wall, it's all first-round draft picks. Ryan Williams made the right decision by reclassifying and getting to Alabama as soon as possible. Congratulations to his family and to him, for working. But job's not finished, right? You got to be able to get to that next level, and you're at the bottom of the totem pole. And when you look to Alabama's wide receivers that they currently have on board, there's some absolute ballers in every sense of the word. So I'm going to show you guys kind of right now the Alabama wide receivers, and we can look at how those wide receivers shake up, because there's some absolute ballers on the team, and Ryan Williams certainly added to the mix. So let's look at Alabama's, and I'll bring that up myself real quick. So check this out. These are Alabama's current wide receivers that are on the roster. So if we work from the left to the right, you got your seniors as Jermaine Burton. And remember, Jermaine Burton, he has a COVID year. So if he really wanted to, he could come back, okay? The juniors on this team, you have Ja'Cory Brooks. We scratched him out because he is a transferred out of the program. You have Malik Benson, who's also a junior in this class. He's been one player that I think still needs to have his opportunities at some point. I believe in him, to be honest. And then look at all those sophomores that you have, right? Kendrick Law, Isaiah Bond, Kobe Prentice, Emmanuel Henderson. The freshmen on this team, in terms of redshirt freshmen, you have Shaz Preston, you have Jalen Hell, you have Jaron Hamilton, Cole Adams. But look to these wide receivers that Alabama has been able to get. Amari Jefferson, who's a complete baller, Rico Scott, and then Ryan Williams. So those are your wide receivers for the class of 2024. Just an incredible group that Alabama will have. So again, if you're just joining us, you have a big announcement today, which is Ryan Williams reclassifying from the class of 2025 to the class of 2024. Slam dunk for Coach Saban. And why wouldn't you want to be able to get to Alabama and play with a 5-star like Julian's saying, right? You have a lot of these guys coming back. But yeah, Ryan, I appreciate you joining us inside the comment box. So that is the news that you have regarding Ryan Williams. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'd love to hear from you guys today in terms of what you guys think about Ryan Williams reclassifying, what it means for Alabama. And I think it's a continued like I was saying, I had heard from the best source in the business. I'm telling you, you know who that is. He said that it was going to be continued good news for Alabama. So definitely go support him. And I tell you who that is. That's my boy, Andrew Bone. So go and give him, I'm sure you guys already follow him, but I've been doing this a long time, and there is no one better at having the scoop than Andrew Bone. So definitely go and support him and his great content, because the guy has certainly dialed in, and always enjoyed working with him, and really happy to see his continued success at On3 and all the great things that On3 is doing as a company. I'm independent. So, everything that I have is just on the YouTube channel. So I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to my particular content. But those guys, there's so many people out in this particular space that do a great job. And Andrew Bone, certainly one of the top, especially on the recruiting front. So I'm going to bring up the Crimson Tide headlines, just kind of refresh what we're talking about today. This is how we're going to steer the show today. So Ryan Williams, you guys can call in, talk about that announcement, how excited you guys are for, him reclassifying from 2025 to 2024. That Ferrari that Coach Saban has been rolling around, man, that was I loved it. So you had a couple of recruits in this past weekend enjoying themselves in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I think that is he had to bust out the flex of the Ferrari, and I love it. How many coaches can do that in college football to show off the Ferrari? You got the Heisman voting that just took place just recently, and then you have Saban visiting a couple recruits this coming week. It's a big week of recruiting before Alabama starts to turn the page to Michigan. So quick heads up in terms of the team coverage. So Alabama will start kind of gearing towards Michigan at the back end of this week. One of the things that Coach Saban said is that no. Mitchell, man, like these wide receivers, I love these guys. Amari and Rico Scott, ballers, dude. Amari Jefferson, man, this guy is absolutely speed to burn. But on the back end of the week, Coach Saban will be visiting with, a bunch of guys, and then the team will start to prepare for Michigan at the back end of the week. One thing that Coach Saban said that he doesn't want to over-practice for the Rose Bowl, and that's something that he's learned because Coach Saban is 6-1 in semifinal games, and I think the money line currently is heavy on Alabama, but Vegas has Michigan as like a 2.5 favorite or something like that. So with that said, let me open up the phone lines and let's get the show going. All right, 256, let's start it up. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Daryl from Huntsville.
Daryl, what's up, man? What's your take on Ryan Williams reclassifying, man. Let me know what you think.
Well, let me just say this. I'm gonna sound prejudicial, which I am. He could have made a better choice. To get to Alabama as soon as possible. Hopefully, he gets to come in and do some bowl prep. That's big time for him and big time for his aspirations and his family, and trying to establish a financial legacy called the NFL. So I'm excited about it because, again, if we can get everybody in and on the same page, we see what we can do. Now let's face it, our receivers this year, they're good. They're not world beaters, but they're decent.
Mm-hmm.
Bond and Burton being the head guys, but when you got a chance to get a play breaker like Ryan Williams,
yeah,
how could you not be excited?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he reclassified, that tells me he's 100% serious about his craft. I want to get there. I want to get in. I want to get the work done, and I want to start.
Yeah, 100%. Coach, what have you liked from his game? I know that they recently just played against Chalkville in that amazing 6A title game in the Super 7 here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Jaylen Mbakwe also balling out. I want to get your take on Jaylen Mbakwe, too, because I don't want to lose sight of him, who is an absolute baller as well, who balled out. But what do you like about Ryan Williams' game? I've been hyping him up, talking about, the fact that he has speed. He's kind of a blend to me of a Devontae Smith and a Jalen Waddle. But from your coaching assessment, what do you like about him? What does he bring to the table?
Well, what I see what he brings to the table, he brings something that you can't coach. It's called explosiveness. He's explosive. He can take a 5-yard pass smoke screen and turn it into an 80-yard touchdown. When you got those type of players, they dictate the cover. They dictate what the team is trying to do to stop them, and they open other people up also. So when you got those type of receivers, I call it QSC, quick strike capability.
Ooh,
when you got people that you can get the ball to and they can turn it into a instant touchdown, man, that's big time. And we saw that. I like your comparison to Jalen Waddle, because if you're not on Jalen Waddle, the minute he catches that ball, he got any space, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with Ryan Williams, and he's proven it. And Mbakwe is a beast also. There's no doubt about it. So I'm excited about the future of these guys coming in. And what I hope is they come in, understand that nothing's given to you. Come in, work hard, put your head down, and show your skills, and let's score some touchdowns.
What do you think about his counterpart, who also balled out the other night, in Jaylen Mbakwe? What have you seen from him?
Oh, I've seen the same thing from him.
Yeah, I know.
Both these guys are, in other words, they're relentless. They're not going to stop.
Yeah.
You might tackle me this time. You might get me this time, but guess what? The next time is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got that type of attitude where you want to continually improve, continually show people your skills. There's an old saying in the trash talk world. You talk game, but I'm bringing game. These guys bring game.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get out there and you see what these guys can do, and if it transfers to the college level, look out. The ride out, the second set of ride outs are on the way.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Coach, when we look to some of the other Crimson Tide headlines that are taking place right now, outside of Ryan Williams making his announcement that he's reclassifying, a lot of people are like, well, he didn't say anything about Alabama. Well, the fact that he went live last night, he was all in Alabama gear. Jaylen Mbakwe said that, he's not going anywhere. Andrew Bone, one of the best in the business, says that it's a solid commitment to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Outside of that, you had some Saban was flexing flexing under the Ferrari. But besides that, like, don't you think, can you talk about the recruiting efforts from Coach Saban right now in terms of, think about how busy his schedule is, the roster management, recruiting on your class of 2024, just landing one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the country, and still looking forward to the Rose Bowl. I mean, Saban is still knee deep in it, and I love the fact that he's flexing on that Ferrari, but the guy doesn't stop. I mean, he has the heartbeat of a Ferrari.
I agree 100%. He's actually performing at an age of 50 instead of 72.
Yep.
Because he's nonstop. He's relentless. There's that word again. He's relentless.
Yes.
I like the fact that the way he communicates what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell you that, hey, not only are you going to be a great player at Alabama, but you're going to reach your max potential. You're going to get a chance to go to the NFL. We've got the track record. We can prove it to you. And you're going to develop to be a great human being also.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
So you got to give Saban all the credit. I know people, think that, we see Saban as walking on water, but if he ain't walking on water, he mighty close. Yeah. So at the end of the day, all my hats off to Coach Saban, because again, he has shown year in and year out that he's all about his craft. He just doesn't talk the game; he brings the game, and he's out there. And this is what's hard. As long as he's been coaching, he's still excited.
Yeah,
you can see the excitement in his face when he talks to the recruit. When he goes in, he's dancing. He's doing it all. So, if we could bottle him up for the next 50 years and find somebody that we could send those same attributes to, Alabama football going to be in great hands.
Hey, everyone inside the comment box, what I want you guys to do is put elephant emoji and then the greater sign to a tiger. Let's see how many of those we can get inside the comment box for our trolls that are with us today. Hey, Coach, last thing I wanted to ask you, the running backs versus Michigan for Alabama. I know Jace is banged up and didn't play against Georgia, but if he's healthy, what running backs do you go with against Michigan? Is it that easy? You just go with the healthy Jace, you go with the healthy dose of Roydell, Jam Miller. What's your take on the running backs versus Michigan? How do you see it panning out in the Rose Bowl?
You got my answer right there. That threesome right there. I like Jam Miller. I think he's still right now. He's still in the mode of I'm going to read the whole, but he's still not in that mode where he's at ease yet, because you can tell by the way he runs. He runs a little stiff. Yeah. But he runs with power. But he's not really freewheeling right now. You know how back gets confidence. And you started, you move and you're grooving. Okay, I can shake him. I can shake him in the hole, and see, he's not there yet. But I think he'll get there. This bowl game is huge for him, and he proved that he's a multi-purpose back by catching the ball. Yep. Roydell, a beast at the goal line. I like his ability at the goal line, and if Jace is not healthy, whoever they put in as a third back, here's your chance to shine. Because see, everybody's bragging, talking about right now is the Michigan run game. Oh, Corn, he's a good back. I've seen him play. He's a good back. They got a good offensive line, but our priority, of course, is going to be to shut down the run. Yep. If we can shut down the run and limit it to 2-3 yards a carry on first or second down, that ends that. Force them into being one-dimensional. But our running backs, also, I like the fact that they have been improved as blockers on the blitz. Yep. Because a lot of teams try to blitz us because they basically what they're saying is that Miro cannot read the blitz. Mm-hmm. He'll look at it and he sees it, but he can't read it. So we can blitz it. But I saw Roydell, I saw Jam Miller, and the other backs, when they were in, they all picked up the blitz expertly against Georgia. If you can block Georgia's blitz, you can block. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about our backs and what they can bring to the Rose Bowl.
Yep. All right, Coach. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for joining me this morning, man. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Call in again sometime this week, man. I'll be around every single day live at 9 a.m., man. I appreciate what you bring to the show, man. Thanks, Coach.
Well, you know what I'm gonna always say. It's always my pleasure. You're the best thing going, and keep it up.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you so much, man. All right, that was
all right.
That was Daryl calling in, and appreciate the call. All right, call line is open. Let's see who I got inside the call queue. I got a 205, a 251, a 334, and a 205. Appreciate you guys being here. We got someone from Colorado inside the comment box. Look, Coach Prime definitely landed Jordan Seaton. It's going to be exciting to see if he can build on some of that momentum that he had going on this next year. They said that he couldn't rebuild his offensive line. Looks like he's added some pretty good components to the offensive line. But I think when you look to Coach Prime, you look to Colorado, it's about consistency and performance, right? And that's the amazing thing that Coach Saban continues to display is the amount of consistency that this team wins at. There was so many people that doubted this team after they lost one game way back in week 2. But the thing was, is they were able to show consistent performance, specifically on the defensive side of the football. And I love it. I love that the fact that Coach Saban's still on the grind. He's still doing his thing. And it's a monumental land this morning with Alabama having Ryan Williams reclassifying into the class of 2024. It's just gigantic news, and I love the wide receivers that are coming with it. I love the quarterback. I think that Alabama still needs to add a couple players from the secondary, but Jaylen Mbakwe is certainly going to hold it down. I know people are excited about the legacy, Drake Kirkpatrick Sr. and his son coming to Alabama. I know he's a 3-star, but 3 stars can prove themselves. There's no stars that exist when you come to the Alabama Crimson Tide. You get a complete reset. So how the next couple days are going to go. We're going to have our call-in show news as it happens, and then on the back end, Alabama will start to prepare for Michigan. I believe they will hold their first practice probably around Saturday, or really get into it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before they head out to Pasadena. I'll be out there in Pasadena, so I appreciate your guys' support, the super chats, and if you want to become a fan funder of this YouTube channel, as low as $2.99, go up to the top of this YouTube channel. There's a hyperlink, or there's a button that says join. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and I will still be doing my show when I go visit my family out in New Mexico, and as well as out in LA, and then of course out in Houston as well. But that's all rat poison. All right, we go right back to the phone lines. 205. I appreciate you being patient. All right, good morning to you. What's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Ryan, calling from Alabama.
Ryan calling from Alabama. Let's talk about Ryan Williams. What was your thoughts on Ryan Williams? I mean, look, this is like, people are like, oh, he's reclassified, and it's not big news. Yeah, it's significant news when you get a guy like that to be able to reclassify. What's on your mind, Ryan? Welcome to the show, man. Take it away.
Yeah, man. Very exciting news with him reclassifying. I've watched him a lot. I keep up with the Alabama high school, playoffs and throughout the year, the guys that's going to be committing, are targets for us. So I've been following recruiting for a long time. But, Ryan Williams is the speed that kid presents is just incredible. I mean, you watch him just leave defenders. I mean, he'll take a short little screen and just bust it up to like 4 or 5 defenders, and they're all looking dumb. I mean, that's how fast he is. And then you got a guy that, he's got to get a little size, of course, but with Saban, that's always going to happen. But I'm very, very excited for him coming, along with Amari Jefferson. Amari Jefferson's another guy that they talk about, but they haven't really broke down. But watching some of his footage, that kid's incredible. And then Rick Scott coming in along with them. I mean, that's 3 awesome receivers, that's going to be added onto what we already have. So our wide receiver room is going to look incredible, in my opinion. And then you got a guy like Jaylen Mbakwe, which I watched that 6A state championship. I believe Ryan Williams and Jaylen both combined, I think, for all of the points.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong, but I believe for each side,
I know it's.
I mean, that's incredible if you think about it.
And that's why I didn't really want to lose sight of a player like Jaylen Mbakwe as well, because the guy is an absolute baller. Having those two type of players in this particular class, because every single year you want to make sure like that athlete and elite wide receiver mark is checked off. And Jaylen Mbakwe, you could probably put him wherever you wanted to, but I know he's specifically coming on the defensive side of the ball. But the guy is an absolute monster. What do you like about his game, Ryan?
Well, the thing about him is, he is a true athlete, of course. He's going to play cornerback at Alabama. But he's a guy who, you see guys like, say, for instance, in the back end, you got like Terry Arnold, of course, and Kool-Aid. But you got guys coming in that can play different roles. Like a Malachi Moore who can kind of play the star, can play cornerback. I believe Jaylen Mbakwe is going to have those attributes where you can kind of put him anywhere in that backfield. Because the speed, like I said, is incredible. We talked about Ryan Williams' speed, but, man, that kid, Jaylen Mbakwe, his speed is just out of this world. So, one-on-one with him in the future, future years to come, they're going to be awesome to watch because he's going to be a lockdown corner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, when guys like Kool-Aid leaving, possibly Terrion, possibly leaving, you got guys, that's going to have to hold those reins, but the way Coach Saban has recruited, especially at that spot as well, has been absolutely amazing. Because, Coach Saban loves the DBs. He does what he's been. He still gets out there, runs with them, in their face. He's out there 70 years old, and you would never believe that with the energy he brings.
Yeah.
No. So that's very positive now and going forward.
Yeah. No, I saw did you see that Ferrari photo where he was showing off his Ferrari?
Yeah, I did.
And people were zooming into the cups and they're like, what's he drinking? I don't know how many cups of coffee Coach is drinking, but look, he's on fire. And I love the energy that he still has. And one of the things that it's been really impressive about Coach Saban that I've noticed over the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season is how sharp his memory is. I don't care if you're 40 years old, if you're 25 years old, if you're 75, recalling certain events that happened last year is difficult for anybody. Coach Saban's able to decipher the plays, whatever happened in specific games. I mean, he's just, it's so great to just see where he's at, I think. And why wouldn't you want to come to Alabama to be a part of that? I love the fact that Ryan Williams reclassifies today to 2024. Okay, Ryan, real quick, man, before I move to my next caller, your thoughts on kind of this whole Heisman Trophy thing, because Coach Jalen Milroe finishes 6th, which, it's an individual award, and, you don't care about the individual awards. But the truth is the kid complete balled out this year. Talk about kind of your thoughts on the Heisman. I don't know if he was necessarily snubbed, but it certainly keeps the chip on your shoulder going forward.
Oh, yes, definitely. Jayden Daniels, we all got to see him, live and all front against Bama defense. And, for the most part in the first half, he was the Jayden Daniels everybody thought he was. Now, Bama coming out only holding him to 7 points in the second half was incredible in my opinion. I know he got hurt and people want to talk about this and that, but, Dallas, that was a clean hit. That was not, no intent behind it. But I believe since it was Jayden Daniels, it was automatic. If it had been some just random quarterback we were playing for Middle Tennessee and it happened, you wouldn't have heard none about it. Mm-hmm. But I believe it set up the way it was going to set up. Now, for Jaylen to come in 6th, it just baffles me because, you watch him against, Texas, which people lose sight of that we were leading in that game going into the fourth. It's not like Texas was out there whooping us. It's just that pick that he threw kind of, negated what we had. But for the growth that he has had throughout this year, I mean, you've got him coming back next year, possibly the front runner of the Heisman. Him and Carson Beck, I believe, and maybe Quinn Ewers, I believe those 3 are going to be your top. But if Jaylen Milroe can continue of what he's done this year and just build and grow as he's done, the sky's the limit for him. And he's big, he's solid, he's got a good arm. But you get him some more reps, more training. The CFP, which you go up against some top quality teams, if you want to say. But I believe Bama's a favorite in those 4, in my opinion, just all around. But, yeah, man, like I said, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens next year, but it's going to be awesome because I believe we could have another Heisman winning quarterback next year.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, Ryan. I appreciate it, man. Call in next time.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right. See you, man. All right. Look, I get it. Everybody's calling in from different areas, but if you call in sometimes the noises in the back, echo into everybody else who's watching the show, specifically me who has the headphones. Those are so make sure that, you step outside or you're in a good spot to call. And I appreciate you guys calling in. All right. So we got a 334, a 205, a 614, and a 205 coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys joining me today. So the big announcement this morning as we let off with the show, if you're just joining us, is that Ryan Williams has announced that he is reclassifying from 2025 to 2024. Why is that significant? Well, that means that he is going to be in this year's recruiting class. So as you look at your recruiting sites, you're going to see Alabama's, ranking only jump up because they added another 5-star. So that's really the big news, is they've added a 5-star to this class, which is just monumental news. All right. I appreciate you guys being patient. We got a 334, and let's do it right now. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Oh, what's going on with you, Kyle, man? This is Brinsky from Tuskegee, Alabama.
What's up, man? I appreciate you joining the show today. I hope you're off to a fantastic Monday. Your thoughts on Ryan Williams reclassifying, man? How excited are you about the news?
Man, when I tell you, I am extremely excited. I kind of seen this coming from the reclassifying part, but it's just awesome just to see him actually do it. Because I've been saying it for the longest. I believe he's the best receiver to come out the state since Julio Jones.
Wow.
The kid is just that fantastic.
Wow.
And I truly, honest to God, believe that. Because after seeing him in person last year in the state championship game against Auburn, I was like you see it on highlights and all that, but just actually seeing it in person, it's just like, my goodness, this kid he is really that guy for real, man. I'm just so excited just to see what Nick Saban and the guys got in store for him, and I believe he's going to be that next great superstar for us.
Absolutely. What was your did you think, because there was a lot of people talking about, that he could flip, or there was some smoke about that. I mean, did you buy into any of that, or were you pretty solid with your thought process that he was going to stick with Alabama, that it was just going to be reclassification? Because I think a lot of people felt that maybe Auburn had some sort of chance. He never really came out and said it, but there was it seemed like, those rumors get in there, and people, because Hugh Freeze is there. What was your thought process on him leading up to this decision?
Well, when it came to that, one of the guys that you do a show with now, my guy Ty Hayes from Around the Table Sports, that's one of my guys. I'm about to say, man, we was talking about that, and neither one of us believed that. We just kept believing that it was just a reclassification. And then after this weekend, when you see him and Jaylen Mbakwe just hanging out and showing off all the gear and all that, man, it just only confirmed more and more, like, man, he's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
I can't believe I even let doubt even get in my head when it came to that.
I know, but that's the world that we live in now. It's like, even though he physically came out on after the game, he's posted up with Mbakwe. He came on live on Instagram. He's completely decked out in Bama gear. But the thing is, what's scary about this is some kids troll. I think it was Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. who trolled, right? I think he trolled everybody with the fake commit. So it's the waters are uncertain until they've actually signed the paperwork, in my opinion. All right, so Coach is showing off the Ferrari. Had a couple recruits in. I mean, what's your thought on Coach Saban? And not only think about that, he missed the Home Depot Coach of the Year award. He misses Coach of the Year awards all the time because he's held to a different standard. Whatever, he probably doesn't even care about that. But on the recruiting front and the grind, I mean, what are your thoughts about Saban? Because the job he did with this particular team, we're about to go to Pasadena, but man, he looks good. He's driving a Ferrari. I mean, what's your take on the greatest coach of all time?
Man, I can't even tell you, man. Ever since that plane landed in Tuscaloosa, I was a sophomore in high school, man. I couldn't tell you the excitement. I couldn't even imagine the job that he has done up to this point. Yeah. I couldn't even imagine that. It is just amazing, man. And easily he can be Coach of the Year every year. But this year, I really, honest to God, believe this is his best coaching job.
Yes.
Just because how
Yes.
especially after that South Florida game, everybody thought like, oh man, they just look so terrible against them and all that. But I kept saying, like, it was heavy rain. They had to stop the game twice. What do you want them to do? They would have blew South Florida out. But it just kept them in the game a little bit longer. But man, Nick Saban is the greatest coach ever. Anybody that says anything else, they're just lying to themselves. You can't hate the man. The man just, when you think he's going to stay one way, he adjusts and he just dominates in that field. When he was run heavy, and then they were like, oh, he'll never adjust to the spread. Then he mastered the spread, man. He's just everything.
You're spitting exact facts. And I think when we rewind to that South Florida game, I've said it before, man. I was like, because what it was is he was showing everybody about the quarterback situation. When we rewind, like that's exactly what he was doing, that they needed Jalen Milroe to be able to win and to be able to transform this team. But I even tweeted out, I was like, put Jalen Milroe in and let's get the hell out of here. Because it was scary, right? Like that, I knew that win, whatever the score would come back and maybe, be in the minds of the committee, but, glad that Alabama was able to beat Georgia. All right, this team going into the Rose Bowl has a lot of momentum. I think two of the hottest teams in college football, the Texas Longhorns and the Alabama Crimson Tide, 100%. What are your thoughts about Alabama and Michigan going into the Rose Bowl? And I was asking people about the running back situation going into Michigan just because Jace missed the SEC title game. I'm assuming that he's going to be 100% for this game, but they have a plethora of backs that can do the job. But your thoughts on the Rose Bowl? Give me some early thoughts on Michigan and Alabama.
Man, with Jace just missing the Georgia game, it only shows how good Jam Miller is. And I don't even feel like he hit his stride yet. So we get Jace back. Now we got three great backs back there that can run the ball. And I believe Michigan, yes, they have a good defense. Yes, they have a great offense. And yes, they have two good running backs back there. I truly believe you stop that run, you got to make J.J. McCarthy throw the ball. And we got the two best cornerbacks in the nation, which is a crime that neither one of them is first team or second team All-American. But that's a story for another day. Mm-hmm. But if you can get them into that range, we're going to dominate them.
Yeah,
I truly believe J.J. McCarthy cannot throw against those cornerbacks. So you just got to stop the run. And Jam deserves a lot of more rushing because he has shown if you put him in there, he's going to make things happen.
Yep. I think you bring up two good points. Number one, J.J. McCarthy going up against Alabama, Crimson Tide secondary, it's going to be very difficult to do. He hasn't faced a secondary like that. Now, I will say, and when we all watched the Ohio State game and other games that Michigan has played this season, he did thread the needle a couple of times. But I think it kind of goes, and not to take anything away from him, but that game is similar to the Auburn-Alabama game. Like, players just completely ball out. They rise up. They make plays. It's just one of those games. But I still believe – I know – and look – Terrion has played out of his mind this year, and a lot of people have been hard on Kool-Aid for whatever reason. I still feel that at some point in time, Kool-Aid is going to make the play. It might come in the title game. It might come in the Rose Bowl. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I still feel that Kool-Aid is about to make, this game-changing play, and he's been doing a good job. I mean, you're right. They do have two good corners, really three if you add in Trey Amos, because Trey Amos, when he gets subbed in, whether it is for Terrion, when he went out, during the season, or when it was for Kool-Aid in this last game, Terrion Arnold is an absolute, or Trey Amos is an absolute baller for sure. Okay, anything else you want to hit on before I move to my next caller?
Oh, yes. The only thing I really want to get out, man, is I'm a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Big fan of yours for a long time. Like I said, I've been telling my guy Ty, man, big fan of yours. And hopefully I can do some content with you. And just want to shout out my podcast, the Sharpshooters Podcast on YouTube.
All right, appreciate it, man. Well, you definitely have good context, man. So if you wanna rep, man, hit me up. And always looking to cross promote and talk to different people, have different perspectives. And you're right, Ty does an amazing job, man. So have a beautiful rest of your day, man, and I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide team, man. All right, we got a 205, a 251, and a 614. We'll just dive right back in it to the 205. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Is this me?
Yeah, this is you. Who am I on the line with? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Oh, dude, that's dope. What's up? I'm Tish. I'm in Nevada. I went to Bama, though, from Tuscaloosa.
Cool. What's up, Tish? I appreciate you calling in. Are you in Las Vegas or in a different city in Nevada?
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
cool.
live in
So
Vegas.
my uncle lives in Henderson. So used to live close to
Nice.
the Fiesta. So I'd always go out there. I've been out there many times. I stayed at the Green Valley Ranch when I go out there. Kind of that's in proximity to the area. But and I might, kind of depending on how the Rose Bowl works out, I might stop in Vegas for a couple of days or whatever. But anyways, I'm from New Mexico, so I definitely got love for the West. Appreciate you calling in, Tish. What's on your mind? Welcome to the show.
Word. Thanks, dude. So I'm from Tuscaloosa, though. I just moved out here. But I say, like, Las Vegas is like, it's like if Tuscaloosa had 1 million people. You still get the same vibe. There's just a few more people to interact with.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. So when you kind of looked at the headlines or whatever, I mean, what do you want to talk about? I mean, it's an open show, but we're talking about Ryan Williams reclassifying from 2025 2024.
Right.
Saban whipping around in a Ferrari. You got the Heisman Trophy talk, and then of course you got the Rose Bowl coming up on the 1st. So, anyways, your show, man. Take it away.
All right, for sure. So I think, first of all, the new vehicle is, I mean, it's sweet. It's sweet looking, dude. Like, that cherry red, dude, that's my favorite color anyway. So I'm loving it. I'm loving that he's flexing. And I think there's been a lot of talk about, like, Saban's too old. He's going to retire after this year. His contract's till 2030. So I don't even know where people are getting the idea that, like, this dude's old, he's going to retire. But if you ask me, he's more like a midlife guy, and he's got that midlife car. So I'm thinking, he might be 72, but he's acting about 51 right now. You know what I mean?
And then on the flip side of that, Miss Terry looks great too. I just had the opportunity to talk to her down at the River Market when they were doing a Knicks Kids Foundation.
Does.
She looks amazing. She looks really great. And the great thing about it is, like, that is such a it's an iconic marriage in the sense to where you have Coach doing his thing, but she's kind of been the vocal front of giving back to the community, and it's just I like everything about Terry Saban and Coach Saban. I do. I bought into it.
Yeah,
so
they got that high school love thing going. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll Tide to that. So
But I think this Michigan game, though, I think we may be slightly underestimating. Like, Roll Tide all day. I know we're going to win, but at the same time, I think Michigan, like, when we see that reaction video and how those guys, like, really kind of embarrass themselves with that, like, oh my God, like, we're playing Bama look.
Yeah, yep.
I think that's going to give them a little bit more drive, a little bit more passion. Like, I think they're actually embarrassed on, like, a global scale. And if you've ever been embarrassed before, like, you have to come harder for that. Like, so I feel like it's going to be more like an Auburn kind of challenge. Like, they're going to practice their butts off to try to give us all they can. And I know J.J. McCarthy might not be, like, that guy, but, like, neither is – see, okay, I'm bad with names, but that quarterback at Auburn is not worth remembering his name anyway. But whoever the guy is, whatever his name is, J.J. McCarthy, I can legitimately see him kind of, like, trying to perform in that way, maybe trying to run a little bit more, kind of trying to mimic what Auburn did, because what we've learned is, like, we do kind of struggle when someone has, like, a legitimate run game. So I think they're going to come at us hard with that, and if we shut it down, then of course we come out victorious. But, like, I think they're going to heavily focus on trying to, like, regain some confidence after that embarrassing reaction video.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see that, and I think that goes to show you, I mean, how hot this team is. This Alabama football team is. Like, nobody's excited to draw a buzzsaw, right? And I don't know what was happening in the Washington locker room or when they were watching their show or whatever, but kind of similar things. I mean, Texas is a team that I think Washington doesn't really match up well with, to be honest. I mean, they have the number 91 ranked defense. Texas is coming on with the buzzsaw, and they have.
Okay.
And I get it. The Washington coach won the Coach of the Year award, whatever. Steve Sarkisian, I mean, he's on the rise, just as Kirby Smart is. I mean, you're looking at two disciples under the Nick Saban coaching tree that know what it takes to play at the highest level. They both have one factor in common, is the fact that they beat Nick Saban head-to-head, and Texas has every single thing that you want, from the NIL to, you know, their location, to be able to be a formidable opponent, not only this year, but for however long Sarkisian wants to be there. They have all the money in the world. I think they're one of the hottest teams, and they have a dynamic offense, and their defense is so underrated. And we saw that back in week 2, but I know Texas isn't the same team, just like Alabama isn't the same team. Anything else you want to hit on before I move to my next caller?
No, dude, I just want to say thanks for having me on, man. That's kind of dope. I'm going to rewatch this and listen to myself talk.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Call in anytime. I appreciate it. See ya.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll Tide to you, man. All right. Okay, we got a 251 and a 614. Kyle Henderson at Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. The ticker at the bottom of the screen shows you that the breaking news was Ryan Williams reclassifies from the class of 2025 to the class of 2024. And a lot of people have been asking, well, they're like, well, is he a solid commitment with the Alabama Crimson Tide? Well, the players officially signed their paperwork on December 20th. And you know, we continue to, you know, talk to people that are super connected to the program. They don't feel that it's going to be, you know, anything negative for Alabama, and that, you know, kind of the flipping stuff has just been smoke. So the world that we live in is kind of the silly season, which I think has been dubbed by a couple different people. Things are always changing. Things are always fluid. But what we know today is that Ryan Williams is committed to Alabama, and that he reclassified from 2025 to 2024. Those are facts. Those are like what we physically know today. All right, 251, let's get it. All right, thanks for being patient. You're on with Kyle Henderson, who I'm online with, and where we talk, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Steven from Saraland.
Steven, what's up? I appreciate it. Saraland, man, you're close to the situation. Give us the report down from Saraland as Ryan Williams makes his announcement.
I just want to speak on the rumor input that y'all had with a few callers ago. Those rumors are pretty much true this way. Auburn is set aside. Rumor is around $1.3 million from Yellowwood, and they're throwing out jobs left and right to people down here. So they're doing everything in their power to get him to the Plains.
You think because that he hasn't specifically announced that it's been like Alabama? So are you saying that this could still potentially happen? Because that's what I've been saying. Like people like Yellowwood, who has all the money in the world, like. I mean, things are happening right now in the world. So, I mean, do you think, in your opinion, being down in that area, that it's realistic that at some point he still flips?
Oh, it's 1,000% realistic. I mean, you can't put anything off the table with money and 18-year-olds nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the thing that I have been talking about with some of the callers is like, you know, the short-term play versus the long-term play. And what I mean by that is a short-term play, 1.3, is that a ton of money? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want 100? Who wouldn't want 1.3? But when you look to like a first-round signing contract, right, that you can get after being developed by Saban, 1.3 doesn't seem like that much, amount of money. But what else do you think in terms of, anything else that's going around with Ryan Williams? If you had to say, I mean, what you think is going to happen before signing day? What do you think happens?
Well, I think he stays strong with Alabama until Auburn pulls more strings, because I guess 1.3 and jobs for your buddies aren't good enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think if he doesn't get the time at Bama, that he would be quick to transfer to Auburn, no doubt.
Yeah. And tell us kind of, with like the Yellowwood stuff, I mean, how real is that? I mean, is he certainly like making a play?
Oh, that is real. They just set aside rumor 100,000 to get the dude from Central Phoenix City, that number one that flipped from A&M. So anytime Hugh Freeze calls for money, he gets it.
Wow. Yeah, crazy.
Especially around here for this area, especially the state.
Let's talk about Ryan Williams as a player. I don't know how long you've been in that area, the type of players that you've seen. I mean, there's some tremendous athletes down in that region. What do you like about Ryan Williams' game? I mean, do you feel that he's truly that dynamic of a player? Tell us a little bit about your opinion on Ryan Williams.
Yeah, he's just got the length, and he's very versatile. So he's a game changer on either side of the ball. I mean, he can play both sides of the ball, which he did growing up, but he's a special one, especially down here.
Who would you compare his playing style to if you had to? I know it's tough, but if there's like a player that kind of just jumps off.
After Alabama put some weight on him, I guess you can say, I don't know, I kind of like, I guess you can say D-Hop, because, I mean, Alabama's going to put 40 pounds on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a playmaker, jumps for the ball,
Mm-hmm.
breakaway speed.
Yo.
I mean, a prime-time D-Hop.
Yeah. It's crazy because, like, Devontae Smith played at, like, what, like 160 or something like that? He's still 160.
He has playmaking abilities from numerous NFL guys. So, I mean,
yeah.
you can take a piece from everyone's game and throw it together, and then you got Ryan Williams.
Anything else you want to touch on before I move to my next caller? Any other, like, scoop,
That
Auburn-wise
is
or anything
it. I
else?
appreciate you accepting the call.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. See ya. All right, that was a 251 calling in from Saraland talking about the fact that the Yellowwood stuff, you know, exists. Yeah, 100% exists. And just as the caller said, you know, you call in, Hugh Freeze makes a call, need this guy, how much money, you're going to get it 100%. So it ain't over till it's over. I mean, you know, the people that we talk to and the people that, you know, are in the know continue to say that it's a solid for Alabama and that he's reclassifying. You know, so, I mean, we've seen him continuing the Alabama gear. I think kind of always the hope with like an in-state guy of this magnitude is that he is going to flip and do something crazy. And why we think that as a society is because we've seen different things like this. There was people, you know, who were excited about Jordan Seaton. We have a Colorado fan inside the comment box, and Jordan Seaton ends up going on ESPN and announcing that he's going to Colorado. So, you know, these are strange times, and until these guys are actually signed, who knows what's going to happen? And you're right, these short upfront money deals, I mean, they're happening, and players can get these NIL deals for, you know, whatever type of money that they want. But you see that Marvin Harrison Jr., who is playing at Ohio State, who is up for the Heisman Trophy award as well. I mean, he's thinking about coming back because of NIL money that he could get compared to first round money. First round money is crazy. So 1.3 is a lot, like our last caller said, but it's nothing compared to first round type money. So I don't know. World we live in, but we'll take a couple more calls. We got a 614 calling in. I appreciate you calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, listen, man. I'm so happy to hear your voice. I watch your show all the time. My name is Mike Scott. I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And, man, I missed the call last time. I was probably the second one, and you had cut it off, man. But I got so much to say, man. There's a guy from New York that calls, man, and he just talks crap, man, about Jaylen Mbakwe.
Yeah.
And man, listen, that kid, and we forget sometimes that they're kids, man. But listen, that kid is awesome, man. He's about to get us another national championship, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. So check this out. I thought about something at the house, right? And if you were my family member and you were getting bullied, right? And I beat the bully up, are you going to invite me to your party?
Okay, I like where you're going with this. Go ahead. Keep going.
Are you going to invite me to your party? Of course you are. So these Florida fans was upset. And I'm like, listen, man, they done won 2 nationals, and we about to get our crown back this year. Mm-hmm. Nick Saban is the GOAT, man, mm-hmm. the best to ever do it.
Yep.
And people got to recognize he's not going nowhere. The work ethics is too hard. Them kids love him.
Yep.
And
Mike, check the connection, Mike. Like where you're going,
okay.
Man. Mike, you're kind of cutting in and out. Try again. Mike waited so long to get on the show, and then his phone service let him down. Mike, I'm going to put you, call back, 614. Just call back, Mike. I'll keep a spot open for you. 251, let's get it. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, it's Robert from Mobile.
Robert, what's up, man? You're kind of close to the regional facility of Saraland, man. Your takeaway on this whole Ryan Williams deal, a couple things for you. Robert is one of our favorite callers on the show. So, Robert, a couple things. Number one, thoughts on Ryan Williams as a player and the whole reclassification thing, and do you think that he sticks with Alabama?
Yeah, it's good. It's really tough these days.
because there's a lot of money floating around for these guys, which is amazing. I can't remember when Bryce Young was the first $1 billion player we'd heard about making that kind of money. Now it's routine, which I guess we should have expected that. Man, yeah, you're talking between us and Auburn, right?
Yeah, I mean, and like we had a caller from Saraland just call in, and talking that the Hugh Freeze is doing every single thing that he can to be able to make this a flip. You're talking, and the caller from Saraland said 1.3 is on the table along with different job type offers and stuff like that. I mean, that is real. Like that stuff is happening. Will he flip or not? I don't know. And Alabama also has money, and it's coming down to money. On the back end, these NIL deals. What I'm talking about is like that short end money is not going to be like that's important 100%, but the long-term money of your first round contract is bigger than these NIL deals. But so I mean, that's kind of where we're at. What are your thoughts on Ryan Williams as a player? I know you're regionally in that area. I mean, what do you think, and who is he comparable to as a player?
I haven't had a chance to really see him myself. What I hear on the news and whatnot is, he's in that Jameson Williams level. Yep. You could probably get that high. I consider Devontae and Julio King, tops.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Mbakwe level and Jameson Williams level, and maybe the Mechie's level would be not below that. And I put him, he's worth it. Well, that's why that's all the money being thrown at him. He definitely is a Jameson Williams level player. Yeah. That, I mean, he can, you'll be afraid of him. If he stays healthy and he learns the system, and if you can coach him up, you can turn to a player, you'll have to be afraid of. So, that's why there's all the money's being floated around. But yeah, it's just crazy all the money we getting out there. And I don't blame the kids. I mean, hey, I'm fine with it myself. I mean, I know people don't like it, because they like the college football the way it used to be, and now it's all about the money. I didn't like the system where the athletes are the ones at most putting most on the line. I'm fine with them, finally getting some money from actually profiting from what they've been doing. So we would just have to navigate the way Nick Saban's navigated everything else. Isn't it interesting how a lot of, the scuttlebutt right now is if Nick Saban wins this, he can go out as the king of college football and he go out on top and king. Okay, yeah, this is the new getting Nick Saban to retire deal again now. I see, right?
that was good. I should have had that as a Crimson Tide headline because of I think it was Peter Burns who tweeted out you lose to Texas, then you come back and you make the playoffs and you beat Georgia and then you beat Michigan, the biggest villain, and then you're able to win and then you're able to get revenge on Steve Sarkisian and you ride off to the sunset, right? It's like, look, I honestly think that he has said this a million times over. When he can no longer contribute at a high level, that's when he will leave the program. He's still doing this at a very high level, and he's having fun with it. I think it is challenging because of the world that we live in, the NIL space and the roster management. But what is he going to do? I mean, he gets bored. He was bored. He was putting off his trip to Italy because he didn't want to be gone for 14 days. So him and Miss Terry. So Miss Terry had been trying to get him out to Italy for like 2 weeks to go celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary, right? And he kept on putting it off and putting it off because he was like, I don't want to be away for 14 days. So, finally he was able to accept it and go away, but he was like, he couldn't wait to get back. And he talked about it, and I'm sure they had some red room, set up with a hotline to where if he had to do something, to make a call or something like that he was able to still do some work stuff. I do have Shane Brown. I think it was Shane inside the comment box who lives in Henderson, because my uncle lives in Henderson as well. He said that the Fiesta is torn down. So my uncle used to go to the Fiesta before it was turned down, and then the last time that I went out there, stayed at the Green Valley Ranch. But I've also checked this out. So one time I went there for 2 days, en route to the last time Alabama played against Clemson in the national title game, and I stayed at the Sunset. So I stayed at the Sunset I don't even know how much it was, like $39 a night or something crazy like that. And it was an old iconic hotel. So that was crazy. But yeah, I love Henderson. And I love Nevada. I like to go out there, not from like the gambling aspect. I just like to go out there to see family, but also, you have Bishop Gorman out there and a lot of high schools that are absolutely ballers. Like there's some major high school football talent in that area because you have a Polynesian community from Utah to Nevada. So you got these incredible linemen, these amazing athletes. Love the high school football out there. Robert, what else on your mind when you look to the world of college football?
Yeah, like you were saying about Saban. I think he's afraid that I think back when somebody said that Bear Bryant retires, the day he retires, he won't live much longer after that.
Yep.
And sure enough, he didn't. And then Nick Saban's the same boat. He said, "This is my life here. If I retire, I'm not going to live too much longer after that. Because the game was what keeps him alive." So I think he's saying, "Hey, I can't retire because it will be maybe 2 years, and I'll kick the bucket because this is my life." Hey, I didn't give you a chance to talk to you about all the hate, of course, that Alabama's receiving from this nonsense of being, not deserving to be in the playoffs or whatever. And me personally, I'm embracing the hate. I'm reveling in the hate.
Yep.
I'm looking for the hate. To me, it's like the old wrestling days with Ric Flair back in the day. when he come into town, you all hate me. I'm the champ, and I'm going to beat your guy, and I'm going to leave town the champ. But you just keep the hate on coming. Yep. That's right. That empowers me. And I think that'll be the attitude of the team. It's not so much they'll be playing the villain, but I think they'll embrace the hate a bit enough to give them an extra edge. Okay, fine. We know you don't like us.
I like that, kind of embrace the fatigue or something like that, because, and I love the fact that they missed out on those recent coaching awards, right? They lost out on the coach of the year. They lost out on the defensive player of the year. But you know who got snubbed the most? Talk about a wide right miss was Will Riker missing the Lou Garza award. Are you kidding me? Like, this guy is the leading scorer in college football history, and he doesn't win the award. That was crazy. By the way,
ever, not even 1 year, not even 2020. Okay, if you're gonna give him to you.
Thanks for the super chat. I know that was crazy. Anything else, Robert? What about? Okay, we didn't even talk about the Rose Bowl. Running backs against Michigan. I know it's not a huge storyline, but still, man, Jam Miller's been absolutely crushing it. What's your take on as we look to the Rose Bowl and kind of the running back situations, or anything else you want to talk about in terms of the Rose Bowl?
Well, we may be close to even on the running backs, and with Michigan, they run the ball well, but like many people have said, Jalen Milroe is the X factor. They have not seen any quarterback like Jalen Milroe, and that's what's going to get them. Yeah. If he cleans up a few things and decides to take off running earlier when he should. Yeah, you watch the Georgia game. There's several things he missed. Yep. That's just how it is. And if we can never get him to clean that. Jalen Milroe has not reached his ceiling. His ceiling is, I think, the second coming of Cam Newton. That's his ceiling. He allows himself to start reaching that, Alabama becomes unstoppable. Now, it becomes scary unstoppable. And it's there. If he just lets himself go and lets himself reach that level, then we're unstoppable. Yeah. So, the Michigan, maybe even on close to everything else, but the X factor, of course, is Milroe and Milroe's legs and running. And they will have no answer for it. Two spies couldn't do anything with him, and that's Georgia. Yeah, so we'll see what Michigan do.
And think about this, too. I mean, go back and just look at Michigan's schedule. I mean, they really didn't play, high-caliber opponent until November. So I would assume that they're fresh, that they're healthy. But, I mean, before that Penn State game, go look at their schedule. I will say this, and I've watched them, several times, just watching Michigan. I've been curious about them. They are that defense is really good. They are. I mean, they're physical. They did a good job against the games that they're supposed to win by a large number, whatever style points wise, but they did not face a quarterback of this caliber. Nobody has. And if Georgia's defense, which is very, very good, they had a tough time with Milroe, and Milroe wants to put the team on his back, and which he's going to do in the Rose Bowl, and he's going to do down in Houston. That you can't. I mean, it's going to be too hard to prepare for anybody. You're going to have to really come with it.
And if he hits our receiver,
oh yeah,
and he hits the receivers, but again, Burton and 0017, then we can torch them with those guys. Those guys are they're emerging to be next level good. And that's So I definitely like our chances. I can't believe we're the dogs, but I hope we keep it that way.
100%. All right. Well, thanks for calling in,
All right,
Robert.
man.
I appreciate you calling again a couple times this week. I'll be on Monday through Friday, like I always am, at the 9 a.m. window. So I appreciate you. All right. That was Robert calling in from Mobile. Hey, fam. So a couple notes, okay? So all this week I'll be live at 9 a.m. Taking your calls, talking Alabama Crimson Tide football headlines, and then the following week, as we go into that holiday season, I'm going to pull up my calendar right here so I can talk to you guys about a couple programming notes, which would be the 19th through the 23rd. I am going back. I go back every year to see my family in New Mexico. I will be doing my show from New Mexico, probably at my mom's house, so I post it up. I don't know if I'll have this nice backdrop, but I'll probably have some nice, beautiful mountains or something like that. It's been snowing back there, so I'll be doing the show from there and breaking news as it happens, so the news won't stop. And then I'll be going to Pasadena on the 27th to go cover the Rose Bowl. After that, I'll continue to follow the team from the Rose Bowl, should they win that game, down to Houston. So I appreciate all your contributions to the YouTube channel. Keep hitting the thumbs up. Keep being subscribed. I really appreciate you guys supporting me as a content creator right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I really appreciate it. We're really close to 100,000 subscribers, so share this channel with other Alabama football fans. And I really, really sincerely appreciate the super chats and you guys just being here supporting the content and the channel. I hope you guys had a fantastic Monday, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you right here as news happens, and, of course, during my daily show. So thank you very much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.